Alrighty guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Rec Report. Today we're talking about quality versus quantity when it comes to knife collecting. An EDC item that we can't get behind and one that we can't live without. And we're also going to play a little game, or this or that, and make these guys, or one of them I guess, do a disgusting punishment.
Oh boy.
Stick around, I'll talk to you guys in a minute.
Never gets this one.
Hey, what's up? All right, so should we just go ahead and do the game first, or should we do some topics, or what do you guys want?
Let's do one topic first and then do the game.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I would like to talk to you guys about your top releases of 2021 in the knife world.
Well,
because we're a little
a lot of really cool things. Two of which that came to mind. I know that you had one of them, but the Demco 80 20.5.
Yeah.
Super sick. I carry that knife almost every single day.
Oh, I forgot you had one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love it.
Absolutely, man.
And then other than that, the REC Shaman, that was pretty cool too.
That did make some waves. It brings me back to Blade Show. I wish we were back over there right now. How about you, Ev?
ProTech Runt 5.
That was on my list as well.
That's an awesome one. Pretty much anything ProTech's done this year has been cool. And I'd probably have to agree with the Shaman.
That Rec Shaman
made some waves.
Well, it's cool because, I mean, Shamans in general are completely unobtainium right now. When we get shipments of them at the store, they're gone within a few hours most of the time. Just standard plain JNS 31s. So when it comes to something even cooler than that, especially in our colorway, those absolutely flew. I totally agree with both of those. I actually need to cross those off of my list so I can have a little bit of uniqueness. For me, I think the button lock Elementum from Civivi, that was a really cool addition to their lineup this year. The pintail from Civivi as well. I really like that knife as far as something that's under $100. Both of those are in their standard configurations. The carbon fiber and Damascus versions are a little bit more expensive. But the pintail was an S35VN in micarta. I think it turned out really cool. The button lock Elementum, slightly bigger than the original Elementum, and with that fidgety button lock, no flipper. Yeah, no flipper, which was really crazy.
Yep.
But I think those turned out really cool. And you know what I just realized?
We have to start over.
No, we're not starting over. We're not starting over. But hey, sorry guys. I know
where
you
the stash of D2 Espresso is.
That's where, that's where all the China D2 Espresso is. My huge backstock of it.
Honorable mention to the Adamas coming back in crew wear.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's I mean that's a new model for them. The mini Adamas is definitely new. Yeah, that's a huge upgrade.
Oh yeah.
I think Benchmade did a great job this year with incorporating new steels.
I think they did a good job with their release in general.
I agree.
It was one of the few that I was excited about.
The mini Adamas.
Just their complete 2021 release.
You know, the Presidio 2, the auto with like kind of the bronze and gray Cerakote job they did on that. That was kind of a sleeper release. I don't fully understand why they released that and the Claymore and partially serrated. That's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a Benchmade thing to do PS.
I think they forced the partially serrated first, so that's how they get their serrated sales, and then once it kind of dwindles, they go to the full plane edge.
And then that's like the benchmark model for them.
Right.
Yeah, I think that those models were really cool. I think we gave ProTech a lot of credit in a previous episode for using different steels, going to 20 CV with the new Runt 5, like you guys mentioned before. But Benchmade with Crewwear and M4 this year, they did a lot of cool stuff with steels. I think they didn't get enough credit for actually moving forward with steels. I think that was a really good move for Benchmade. My last addition to that kind of top releases of 2021 would be the Microtech Hera. the production version of a custom Microtech that had been made previously. We got some kind of pre-production proof run models from Blade Show, and that was super cool to be able to see that and to be able to hold that. All of them were serial numbered under 100, which is always cool to see. An early model. The button was huge, bigger than a Combat Troodon, or I should say wider than a Combat Troodon button. And that blade shape with the double fuller down the middle was super sweet. So that would be mine, but I totally agree with the Runt 5 and the 20.5 like you guys said. I think those are super sweet. How about when it comes to the collecting hobby, knife collecting hobby, there's kind of always a pull between quality and quantity. We all have limited budgets, so you can either choose between having 30 really budget inexpensive knives, or you can pick and choose and save up your cash and get only a few high-end models if you're being responsible with your money. So especially at the very beginning, what would you guys choose?
I wish I would have started with the quality over quantity.
It's definitely how it started with me too. Quantity was better.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned that in one of the first episodes that you just liked having a stash, like an array of knives, and I did too. I think there's a lot of pressure, or perceived pressure, because really no one gives a shit how many knives you have.
Right.
But there's almost that perceived pressure when you see someone's awesome Instagram and it looks like they have a brand new knife every day. You're like, man, I wish I could keep up with that.
Yep.
So I did the same thing. I bought a lot of Kershaws, a lot of CRKTs, Civivi and CGRB and Artisan and all these companies that make like cool budget knives. Yeah. They didn't exist back then. Yeah, so I didn't have any options. I bought and lost a lot of Kershaw leaks, is all I'll say. You know what I'm saying? But when I finally saved up enough money to buy my mini grip, that was kind of the starting point where I started kind of valuing quality over quantity. And that kind of leads me to my next point, which is if you could give yourself, your younger self, first getting into the hobby or the collecting hobby, a little bit of advice, what would you give them?
When I used to do quantity over quality, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, no shit.
Things have slowly been changing, but not much advice to give to my younger self.
Yeah, you're still kind of going through it right now.
You're going through growing pains.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, but the nice thing is that you have your dad and you have us to guide you through, so you're not just willy-nilly buying crappy knives just to have them. How about you, Ev?
Do your research. That was a big thing, is just like not understanding what I was buying.
Oh, yeah.
Was a big thing. So just research.
And the research for me, and I know we're all nerds, you're less of a nerd than the two of us, but the research is 2/3 of the fun for me. Once you actually get it in hand, it's almost less sweet than when you're watching videos of it and doing the research and learning every single intricacy of it, for me at least.
Yeah, I'm to the point where I watch and read so much about something before I buy it. It almost feels like I already have it by the time I buy it, so it's like not special.
Yeah,
it just feels like it's been in the collection.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like you've experienced it through someone else's hands. And people form opinions on knives that they've never held. We have the overwhelming luxury of being able to handle 90% of the knives that people talk about online all the time, which is really cool. So we can't talk about them like we've carried them for 6 months and beat the crap out of them, but we can at least comment on quality, on action, and all this stuff. But a lot of people out there, they don't get that luxury, and they're still kind of commenting on knives that they've never used before. So I think that's something that you need to avoid. Definitely don't take any stock in someone reviewing a picture of a knife online. Have you guys seen that before?
I have.
That's crazy, right? I mean, there's guys that will literally be on there with a picture, a screenshot of a new release, and they're critiquing it and saying this, that, and the other about it. But it's like, man, get the knife in hand before you start crapping on it. Seriously.
I mean, there's so many knives I thought I wanted before I held it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, ooh, no, never mind.
Yeah, how many times have you been lent a knife by someone and you're just like, no thanks, I'm good, or not turned them down for lending it, like, you know,
Right.
like, no, I don't want to carry it, but after you've carried it for a week or so, just be like, yeah, actually, I'm good. I like the knife I currently have.
Yep.
I know there's a lot of people that have ordered the UTX 70 and thought that it was going to be a lot bigger than what it actually
Yeah.
was.
That
But really,
happens.
It's only this big.
That happens all the time, but they look similar in pictures. The case dimensions are obviously all just scaled up and down. That happens all the time.
I guess that goes back to advice. Always read
Yeah.
descriptions and specs.
Yep.
Because I've done that a few times myself.
And if it helps you, like if you're a bug out guy, and that was like that's like kind of your go-to knife, write down those specs, and then so when you're looking at a picture of or a description of a knife online, you can reference your specs and say, oh, it's a 1/2 inch larger in the blade, it's a full inch longer in overall length.
Yep.
That actually helps a lot. I think for me it would just be to chill out and to, like you said, do your research and make sure that you're not impulse buying stuff.
I'm guilty.
Oh my gosh, me too. Yeah, and I shouldn't say I'm impervious to this or immune to this now, but especially in the exclusive community, or there's so many awesome brands now that do drops, and it feels like if you don't buy it right now on Friday at 10 a.m., then you'll never be able to buy it again.
Right.
And that's not a good enough reason to buy something.
I think one last thing for myself I would say is enjoy what you have.
Absolutely.
There's so many times like I buy the new thing and then I'm already looking for the next, and I don't even get a chance to enjoy the one that I've been lusting after.
How many times have you bought a knife while the previous knife that you bought's still in the mail?
Oh, countless.
Yeah, I've done that a lot with knives, watches, fountain pens,
Yep.
flashlights, everything. You're like, well, that was only $200, so I still have $300 left in the budget this month. I'll just buy something else, and then you have 2 packages en route, and we get addicted to that feeling of having something coming in the mail. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. So we see knives in the community a ton that are water, fishing, diving specific, with LC200N or H1 or Vanax, whatever. And they have characteristics, whether it be a super grippy handle or serration, so you don't obviously see in many other knives, that make them specifically well suited for the task at hand. We see a lot of the times the Leatherman Raptor or the Benchmade Triage, or the Kershaw made a version of the Triage with a blunted tip and a seatbelt cutter, whatever it's called. But we see knives a lot that are for a specific purpose. If you could design a knife for a specific activity or purpose, what would that activity or purpose be, and then what would you throw into it to make it well suited for that?
That's tough.
That's pretty tough. For you, it'd probably be something to do with dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Something, but throw an 8mm in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
That would help
the
out.
most commonly lost socket. That makes total sense. So it would be a folder.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, and it's raining a lot. So is it coated or is it stainless?
Ooh, it would have to be coated.
Okay, and then so it's going to be in a tool steel. So you're going for toughness. Is it plain edge or serrated?
Plain. I like serrations.
Okay, and then it has some sort of folding bit driver, or just maybe even a male end of the bit acceptor on the very bottom.
Or a cutout in the blade with the 8mm.
That would be.
That's actually not a bad idea. So for me, I would start mine with a Manix 2. That's like kind of the starting point for mine in my head. Robust, strong knife, locking mechanism. I might thicken the blade a tad bit just based off of what I think I'm going to use it for. I think this one would be in 10V, 3V, 4V, something like that, coated for the toughness. The steels for the toughness, the coatings for corrosion resistance. And then on the bottom, I would just have a fold out pin, metal pin that tapers down, and that would just be useful for in the field or at the range gunsmithing. Popping pins out of the receiver of an AR-15, there's a lever in the handle, in the frame of an M&P that you need to depress to while you're disassembling it. It would just be useful for that kind of stuff. And it's long enough that it can do all that stuff, but it's not your blade, so you're not dulling up or dinging up your blade. And it's obviously pointed, but not pointy enough that it would mar up the finish on the actual pistol or rifle. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
I think for me, it almost already exists in the boost.
Okay.
Like the blended tip.
Yep.
I do a lot of dumb things. I don't necessarily like carrying a separate pry bar.
Sure.
So probably just something along those lines. Maybe throw in a screwdriver, because those are like the two main
That'd be
things
like a
I'm
bench made
doing.
multi-tool.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet, and that's already in 3V, already warranted for prying, which a lot of people don't know.
Or if my knife could somehow have tools to maintain other knives.
Yeah.
Like a T6 and a T8 somehow built in.
That would be sweet.
Especially with custom shop stuff. It's like always searching for the Torx bits.
And you never have it when you need it.
Never.
Yeah, I dig that. Absolutely. What is a vintage knife, or it doesn't even need to be that old, but a discontinued knife that you would like to bring back?
Well, ever since we went through Jamie's collection, the Spyderco K2 was super
The
sick.
K2.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Especially in 10V. I thought that was really cool.
I'm going to bring up the one that I would like to talk about. And this one just has specific emotional attachment to it because, and we'll throw up a picture of it, but this is just for you guys. But the Benchmade Onslaught Bob Lum design, who has since passed away, so we won't get any more of his designs, unfortunately. I remember coming into REC 2 locations ago, and just eyeballing this in the case. I thought it was super cool. It has a lot of the characteristics that I really like about Spyderco's, but it's in a Benchmade package with the Axis lock. I just always thought that knife was super badass looking, and the full size is quite large. Because Benchmade used to do that a lot. They used to have big full-size knives, and you can still kind of see that in the Crooked River and the Mini Crooked River. The full-size Crooked River is freaking huge. And the Mini Crooked River is just an average size pocket knife.
They always said they did that backwards.
Oh yeah.
It should have been the Crooked River and the large Crooked River.
Yeah.
Or just the XL. Like when they take a cold steel phrase and throw that on there. I know you were talking about the Benchmade Activator.
Yes.
Last time we spoke, which is a little EDC fixed blade.
Super cool with the carbon fibers.
Yeah. And it has a mix of standard, just kind of gray and black carbon fiber and a white
design?
and gray. Is it? Let me look it up.
Sure.
I think it is.
Yep.
Such a cool knife.
I think for me, also going along with the Benchmade,
That's so weird.
Model 42 Balisong.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
absolutely
a grail piece for whatever reason. Probably growing up watching Cutlery Lover.
Yeah. Seriously.
Just he talked about it so much. I always wanted one.
Hyped it.
We've had a couple come through consignment, so I at least got to handle one.
Yeah.
But I wish they'd bring it back as a normal production.
Yeah, we've had ones that were so old that they were in 440C come through, which is super sweet. But yeah, I mean, all those are weird, or all those are good. It's weird that they're all Benchmade, but they do have a tendency to rotate through models quicker than a lot of other kind of more mainstream companies.
That K2 needs to happen.
That'd be sick.
Oh yeah. Okay, guys, and in 10V, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That has to be. If you had to create, if you could only own 3 knives for doing everything, every cutting task that you do, whether that is in the garage working on your bikes, chopping up your meal prep, or opening up boxes, everything that you do. 3 knives, they can be fixed, folders, whatever, any brand, no price range. What would you do?
Demko 80-20.5.
Okay.
Folder, love that. Wusthof 6-inch chef's knife. For one fixed blade, and then I'd also need a fixed blade for the outdoors. So really, at that point, anything. The LT 6-inch Genesis is really cool.
That knife is sweet.
Yeah.
That's what we were using, creating that fire for that. Pocket Bella's video. That was really cool. How would you have?
Mine would probably be all folders.
Really?
Even for the kitchen?
I guess if it's every cutting task.
It's every cutting task. That was smart.
That was smart. Making me rethink. So obviously, number one, Sabenza, large.
Yep.
Okay.
Probably 21 if I can go that route.
Oh, you can. There's no limitations. You can pick up any knife from any.
21.
Yeah.
With the clip point blade. Kitchen, I would probably have to go with one of my Winterstrom customs.
Nice.
The Nakiri. I think it's a 7-inch Nakiri from him. And then old trusty Endura. It's the longest standing knife in my collection currently.
Okay.
And you can't go wrong with it.
No, it's just sturdy and light, and they can do everything.
Just a workhorse.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm going to start with the kitchen knife. I'm going to go with a Shun Premier.
Okay.
I just love that handle. Probably a 6-inch Western cook's knife. Just simple, easy. I feel like you can do everything from like really detailed stuff to like, I'm not chopping heads of cabbage very often. I think I would do a CRK Zahn.
Okay.
Drop point, which is kind of almost a harpoon blade anyway. Preferably an S45 just because I think it's cool. But if they make one in MagnaCut, I want that instead. And now it's just gonna be like the everyday knife. I mean, that's a knife that I could carry to work all the way to my wedding kind of deal. And for the last one, kind of a more heavy duty setup, man, LT's not a bad choice. I think an LT next gen.
Yep.
Nice.
I think that's what I would do. But let us know down below your top 3, or not even your top 3. If you had to only have 3, so they might not.
Task.
Yeah, for literally every task. They don't even have to be your favorites, but you just think that they would cover all your bases. What would they be? Let us know down below. I'm curious to see what you guys think, because you guys are always thinking of knives that I wouldn't even think of. All right, guys, are you ready? The community has spoken. Here are the rules to this game. So we posted on our Instagram. Yeah, good luck, guys. We posted on our Instagram story. I think it was 9 or 10 different this or that. Would you rather have G10 or FRN, titanium or carbon fiber? So you guys did the easy part. Thank you so much. What I want you guys to do is we're going to go through one at a time, and I want you guys to guess the percentage of people. The percentage.
Whoa.
It's way too easy just for you to guess which one was more popular. Whoever gets closer to the actual percentage gets a point. And I'm gonna start my little tally sheet right now. The loser, I'll just wait and see. Do you agree to the terms of this game before you see the food challenge?
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
You guys have already seen it, because I don't know if you guys know, I took a little vlog while I was going through Target buying up the challenge food, which I absolutely detest. Alrighty, guys, we're going to go get the food challenge for today's video. I happen to know from Riley's dad, Mike, that Riley absolutely hates cottage cheese. Let's go get some. Let's go. I talked to your dad. I know you hate it.
Oh boy.
Food stuff for me is hard.
Yeah.
I'm already a very particular eater.
And it's not going to be a
weak
full.
stomach,
It's not going to be a full container of it. I literally want you to take one spoonful.
Spoonful.
Yep.
Better not be cottage cheese.
Oh no.
All right, guys. Good luck, Riley. The first one that we're going to do is full titanium or carbon fiber.
75% titanium.
Okay.
I think it's going to be more of a 60-40, 60% titanium.
Okay. Ev, that's 1 point to you.
Oh,
the people voted 71%.
No way.
Very close. Good job. Riley. You gotta start making up points. Okay, Riley, you get to go first this time. As automatics go, out the front or side opener?
Go with 40% out the front, 60 side opener.
Okay.
I was gonna say like 64% on the side opening.
Okay. Riley, you were closer this time. It was 44% OTF, 56% side opener. So you're very close. You said 40-60. Folder versus fixed blade. And then Everett, you get to go first this time.
It's weird throwing out random numbers.
I know.
86% folder.
Okay.
I was gonna go 80-20. Yeah, 80% folder, 20%.
Yes, another point to you is 84% folder.
Way.
Okay, we have an early lead. Riley. Flipper versus thumb stud. This is the one that I thought was going to be the hardest to figure out.
Yeah, that is kind of tricky. I'm gonna guess that thumb stud had more votes.
Okay.
Let's go with 58% thumb stud.
Okay.
I was going to say 52% thumb stud.
It doesn't matter because Riley, it was 57% thumb stud.
Wow.
That's impressive.
There we go.
I love this. It's still neck and neck. It's 2-2, boys. We have 5 more to go. All right, Everett. Serrated or plain edge?
His face looks so worried about this.
He's so worried about
He's
it.
like swallowing super hard. I'm sorry, what was it?
It better be a
Serrated.
nice juicy steak.
No, it's definitely not. I can't. We don't have the budget for that. Sorry. All right, Everett. Serrated versus plain edge.
Plain edge taking the lead. 89%.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 75%.
Correct.
Oh.
Everett, it was 95% plain
Whoa.
edge. Riley. Spyderco or Benchmade?
Let's go with 75% Spyderco.
Okay.
Thinking more like 64% Spyderco.
Is that your final answer?
I've already said it.
Riley, you are correct. 72%
Damn.
Spyderco. It is literally neck and neck. 3 more to go. Everett.
Every time you go first, you win. And vice versa.
That's why we're going back and forth, baby. Chris Reeve knives versus Rick Hendry knives.
I think that's tough.
That's a
is
tough one.
I feel like that could be pretty neck and neck. With the slight edge to Chris Reeve at 52%.
Okay.
55% hinder.
55% Hinderer. You win by the skin of your teeth. It was Chris Reeve with 67%.
Wow.
Chris Reeve, guys, where you at? Good job, Everett. Riley. Coated blades or uncoated blades?
That's another tough one, but I think coated or uncoated is gonna have the advantage.
Okay.
60% uncoated.
Okay.
I'm thinking a higher uncoated percent, more
Okay.
like the 80s. Like 87.
It was 64% uncoated, Riley. We are still
Oh my
neck and neck.
gosh.
This is the last question.
Oh, and you're first.
And Everett is first. FRN or G10?
Ooh,
G10.
Okay.
definitely.
73%.
Okay.
Right there.
Right there.
I think majority of people would rather have G10.
Okay.
I'll go with 80% G10.
Riley, you are the winner of today's This or That with 87% G10. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and get his punishment out real quick.
Boy.
It was in fact
I gotta go home.
Was it really?
cottage cheese. Thank you, Mike, for the intel. We have low
I
fat.
think I'm getting custom shop phone calls.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no. One more thing. I don't even know how to serve this. It is in fact brand new.
Oh.
I'll get you a clean spoon.
Nice and cold. For you.
I don't mind cottage cheese, but I don't like it either. It's like I would never go out of my way.
This was mainly targeting Riley.
You sure you don't want to bite?
Sure.
What would it take to get you to take this bite of cottage cheese? What would it take?
What would it take? I tell you.
This is all on you,
Like,
audience. Thank you so much for voting.
how much cottage cheese?
Once you cover the top of the spoon, or once you cover the top of the spoon. No, not like that.
Dang it. This is disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
Do we have water?
Yeah, let me get you a glass of water. Bodybuilders. What a day. Every day is a good day. What I get to make.
Still didn't swallow it yet?
I love this so much. We need more games because I need to make everyone eat more.
You need to suffer on the next game.
I'll take a spoonful of this right now. I never tried it
running
before.
the next one.
Never tried it?
No. I don't want to smell it or anything. I just want to.
Literally, it's just texture. Like, there's not much flavor. It's just the.
Later that night, Evan finishes the whole tub.
It kind of just tastes like. It's gross.
It just tastes chunky.
Yeah, it just kind of just tastes like cream cheese.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, Everett. Guys, comment down below what you guys have in the pocket today. I always like to see that. Everett, what you got, buddy?
Today, I have a Hunter handmade knives out of Kentucky. I've carried one of his fixed blades for a while. Finally had him make me a custom folder, and that's what I've been carrying. And
It's got to be purple.
Purple Sailor, Wicked Witch.
The color-coded EDCs are back.
There you go.
Riley, what you got?
We got the 10V Pair 2,
Oh, nice.
telephone, and my wallet. That's it.
Cool, man. You don't carry non-FRN Spydercos very often.
No, not often. Or Pair 2s.
Yeah.
Or 3s.
I know why. We don't have to get back into it. All right, guys. For me, I got the ProTech Malibu. Still love this knife. It's got a lot of wear on it, and it's getting slicker and slicker as I use it. But I love that thing. It changes people's definition of smooth when they operate it. I got a Olight i3T titanium. Still love this thing. This was a gift from my good friend Everett. And then I got the Squale 1521.
You didn't get this back together very well.
All the liners popping out. There you go. Now you got a fully functioning knife.
No, it's
Still there.
Everett, I know you came directly from the Cerakote shop. What you got?
I guess that proves my attention to detail coming from the custom shop.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Just brought something small just to show off. Just a little project we threw together for a customer. This is a Chavez. We polished the pocket clip and backspacer, and then we Cerakoted the handles in blue titanium.
I love that color.
Such a good color.
Is that color new or just new to us?
I think it's just new to us.
Okay.
It almost looks more like a blue anodizing though.
Definitely.
It's a really cool blue color.
You say you polished the clip
And
the backspacer. That looks really nice. It almost matches the blade finish.
That's exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. I should probably get my Malibu in that color.
That would be sick.
That looks sweet with the satin. I dig it, man. You guys are doing good work. Matches the watch. Alrighty, guys. So another thing that we're gonna introduce here on the Rec Report is, like our newsletter, we're gonna give away $50 in store credit every week. So every previous video, we're gonna go through, use a comment picker, filter out duplicates, so if someone uses multiple comments or leaves multiple comments, which I totally encourage because I want to get people talking on here. But it'll filter it out so it only includes one comment per person. And we'll just go ahead and give it away. So if your name pops up here, these are all comments from the last video, which was Jamie Hall's collection video. Go ahead and shoot us a message, and make sure you have an account set up on riversedgecutlery.com, and we'll go ahead and apply that $50 credit to your account. So I'm gonna do a little screen record here, and then I'll show the process of us actually choosing. And we're gonna filter duplicate users. There's no specific comment that we're looking for. GG, his comment was, "Man, I thought I was bad. I'll have to show my wife this." I love that comment. I love that comment because it's like, hey, honey, look, there's people that are worse than me. All right, GG, shout out. We'll go ahead and get that sent over to you. So shoot us a message on Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever you want. We'll get you taken care of. Get that started on the Rec Report. Show you guys some love. They've been showing us a ton of love on these videos. So we really appreciate that. Appreciate all the support and the helpful feedback. There was a lot of feedback on the first video especially that really helped us kind of get this into a groove. And you gotta realize that we're just 3 kids selling knives. Like we're getting into it. We're getting better. Yeah, we're cutting our teeth. We're getting better every time. But we really appreciate all the support. You guys have anything else you needed to say?
Just want to say stay tuned for next week, part 2, Jamie Hall.
Oh yeah, more Jamie Hall collection stuff. We're gonna get into his custom stuff, which just gets even more off the charts. So stay tuned for that.
Leave a comment down below. Chance to earn $50.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Show us some support down below, like the video, and comment for a chance to win $50 on the next one. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.